Greenfield, the front page magazine, is here to help. He just wrote a very smart piece entitled 5 Lessons for Republicans from Trump's Win, and he joins us now. Daniel, this is one of the most interesting pieces I've read in a long time. I don't know if we have time for all 5, but I want to put them up on the screen and ask you about a couple of them. These are the lessons, you think. The first is, find your natural base. Here's the first sentence. The GOP is ashamed of its base. It doesn't like being associated with the very voters who made 2016 happen. Its autopsy last time around searched for ways to leave the white working class behind. I guess that is 3 sentences, but they're right on target, I think. Why didn't they figure that out?
Because they didn't want to figure it out, because they were out of touch with a lot of their base, and because they were really very desperately trying to be more liberal, trying to appeal to people who hate Republicans but who happen to be their friends. And it turns out that doesn't work. It's a dead end. You actually try to appeal to people who like you, who might actually agree with you.
But if you don't like your own voters, how can you represent them?
They're doing a very bad job of representing Republicans. So that's one of the things that the Trump election has been a wake-up call on. You actually have to connect with your base. You have to find your base, and you have to stop worrying about whether or not liberals will like you. Liberals will not like you. If you actually look back, the more moderate Republican presidential candidates, McCain and Romney, had far more trouble than Republican candidates like President George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan, and, of course, Trump, whom Democrats and liberals rabidly hated.
Yeah, that's true. Number 2, media and celebrities don't matter. First sentence. The first rule of Republican politics is to look in the mirror and ask, are we trying to be Democrats? So you think that that's the instinct among the Republican leadership to say, how can we imitate the other party?
There's been a sense that we need to duplicate the successes of the Democrats, that we need to duplicate what they've done. And in many cases, we don't actually need to do that because we're dealing with very different bases, with very different electorates. So, for example, trying to appeal to the media, trying to win over the people at Saturday Night Live, trying to win over bi-coastal elites, a lot of that is a dead end. It doesn't work. We need to stop worrying about what celebrities think of us. We need to stop thinking of ourselves as competing for the very same urban elites that the Democrats are competing for.
Right.
We have a very different base. We have a different demographic, and we need to play to our strengths instead of trying to play to our weaknesses.
But what if Katy Perry came out against you? I mean, you couldn't be elected president.
Yeah, it's absolutely hopeless. You have to really care what the cast of Hamilton thinks about you.
Yeah, good point. And finally, it's probably the last one we have time for, though I would urge our audience to read your piece. Money doesn't matter. This is how you start. What do Krispy Kreme, Costco, and Donald Trump have in common? They don't advertise. All of us kind of thought that money made the difference in the end. The guy with the most money wins. Not true.
The consultants certainly get paid very well for the money, but when it comes to actually connecting with voters, having a product that people are excited about, having a candidate that people are excited about, easily beats just having a huge war chest of money that you spend on the same old people who go on to lose the same old elections. That
was one of Trump's key insights that everyone here in Washington just mocked as stupid, but it turned out to be right. Daniel, thanks a lot. I can't overstate how much I enjoyed the piece. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Well,